Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to the Dr. Auda and my fellow friends. Today, our group would like to present about our report of the case study in SESP companies. Okay, our case study is prepared by 5 members. Okay, before this, I would like to present myself. My name is Nurul Nabila binti Zaini. My matric number is 272970. I would like to present part 1, which consists of a table of entities and activities, context diagram, logical DFT, and flowchart. Table entities and activities is very important in providing clearer job scope responsible by respective entities and help in preparing the DFT and the flowchart. In our case, this is how we are prepare our table of entities and activities in the simple and precise way. Okay, from the table, we can identify 5 entities involved, which are reseller, sales officer, store executive, delivery agent, and operation employee. All of them have their own activities in order to preparing sale order from the customer. Okay, first of all, the sales are made to the reseller and they will receive the pre-number purchase order form for reordering purpose. They will complete the purchase order and bring it to the head officer. Secondly, the sales officer, which is Azlina, is responsible to review and to approve the order made by the reseller and at the same time preparing the sale order in the duplicate carbon copies. Next, store executive is who is responsible for managing inventory and delivery related tasks to make sure that the item or the inventory that customer order is available. After there is no problem, the delivery agent will pick up the inventory and deliver to the respective reseller. Upon delivery, there are some documentation need to prepare it, for example, delivery note. And lastly, after the settlement of the process delivery, the operation employee will do their job where they provide all the document and copy to record in the system. Next, we go to the cash receipt procedure, where the process handling all cash collection from the reseller. As General Manager of SESP, indicate that the account unit has adopted accounting software for managing an accounting record related to the sale transaction. So here we can see 4 entities are involved, which are account officer, Shima and Ashila, the reseller, and the last one is office executive, Sandra. We will proceed to the context diagram. Basically, the external party involved are reseller, account officer, and SESP head office. Reseller will specify the description of the order. Meanwhile, the sale order system will receive purchase order of form from the reseller. The sale order system will send the delivery note to the account officer, and last, the system will report to the SESP head officer for reordering purpose. And then the last one is cash receipt system in the context diagram. The reseller will make payment goes to the cash receipt system either by online banking or cash. The system will send the report to the general manager, and lastly, for deposit the reseller made will go to the bank. Okay, that's all.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Ismail Muhammad Farid. My matrix number is 268081. So today I would like to talk about data flow diagram and flowchart for this case study. Data flow diagram sales order. So when the company receive the customer order will sent to for the pickup goods. So that the company receive the order, will transfer to check credit to approve the sales order. So when the credit approval, so the check credit will approve the sales order. So after receive order, will transfer to ship goods to verified stock release. So the product and quantity will record to the stock record. So the ship goods will transfer to bill customer to sales order pending file. To the copy will sending to pending file. And the sales detail will transfer to the sales journal. Bill customer will review stock release to the update inventory record. The update inventory record will check the product and quantity sold in inventory subsidiary ledger. So the update inventory record EOQ will transfer to purchase requisition file. So when the pickup goods will waiting for delivery, and after ready we will transfer to the ship goods. When the ship good dates back order status release, will transfer to customer order file. The ship good will transfer the shipping detail to shipping log. So after all that, the shipping goods will transfer to the customer with packing slip and bill of lading. So the bill customer also transfer to the customer. Data flow diagram for cash receipt procedure. So the customer will send the sales order for preparing sales invoice, and preparing sales invoice will update to the sales journal for the sales journal and account receivable and general ledger master. So the customer sales order will go to open mail and prepare batch total for the order and transfer to for prepare cash receipt total. So the prepare cash receipt total will transfer to customer master file and record to the cash receipt file. So cash receipt total also go to the general ledger master. So for preparing deposit, prepare cash receipt total will transfer to prepare deposit and go to bank deposit file and bank. So also report to general ledger. The customer money go to transfer to reconcile cash receipt and deposit will transfer for prepare cash receipt total. Flowchart for sales order. The sales order receive the customer order, then go to input customer and transfer to the customer order and make a copy. So the copy will transfer to the store department. So the customer order will go to operation department for edit and credit check. The credit check will transfer to history file, credit history file. After edit and credit check, will go for preparing customer order and go to the sales order. When the sales order will transfer to the store department, and after that store department will pick up the goods and sales order, then transfer to for update stock record. After stock record recorded, the sales order will make a copy and transfer to the shipping department. After shipping department, the sales order will transfer for delivery order and ship goods. The ship good will record for shipping log and make a copy. Delivery order, the copy will go to the account department, and the original will transfer as a sales order and go to the customer. Cash receipt flow chart. So the mail room will receive the customer order and get a remittance advance and double check the remittance advance. So reconcile after that, reconcile the with RA and prepare remittance list. So the remittance list will copy for 3. First, we'll go to the cash receipt department for check list and process cash receipt. After that, the cash receipt will go to the journal and the journal voucher. So after process cash receipt, we will make a 3 deposit slip. So the deposit will go to the transfer file, and for the remittance slip will go to the file. So the mail room will check the remittance advance and go to the account receivable. So when the go to account receivable, the account receivable will process cash receipt and transfer to AR sub ledger and account summary. After process cash receipt, will make a remittance list and remittance advance and go to the file. So the account summary will go to the general ledger for account summary. Then general voucher will update the general ledger and go to the general ledger. And after update the general ledger, the account summary and general voucher will go to the file. So the file will go to the controller and with the account summary. So the mailroom, the remittance list from the mailroom will go to the controller. The copy will make a deposit slip, and bank will make the deposit slip. So the account summary and general voucher will reconcile deposit slip from bank with summary total from account receivable and cash receipt with remittance list. Thank you.
The possible strength of internal control in ASB is, first of all, it's a separation of duties. So, when the inventories arrive, ASB as the operation employee handle the receiving process. Meanwhile, Lisa, who handled the cash payments, to information in the purchase order. Besides that, Lisa, who handling the cash payment to ASB vendors receiving the purchase order copy and keying the vendor's invoice in a reseller ID through SASB accounting system. By looking the separation of duties that being implemented by SASB, we can see the possible strength of internal control procedure to achieve effectiveness in the company. Okay, next, the possible strength is the security in access control. both physical and digital, form an important part of the internal company controls. Assessment has to identify which area of the facilities, such as data center and warehouse, must have restricted physical access. So we can evaluate the possible strengths by looking the physical will unlock the inventories. We can evaluate the possible strengths by looking the physical barriers to assess and record of who assess the control facilities. The assessment can apply a similar procedure for digital success. Digital access identify which network computer and server should have restricted access, the effectiveness of control. A strong limits access to authorized personnel and record who gains access from time to time, and that implemented by SCSB. Okay, next, the internal control is the management receive report from different area of activities. It can prove by procedure which Lisa is preparing a report in accounting system. Lisa needs in preparing the accounting system, Lisa needs to receive purchase order and payment voucher from account manager to prepare account report to general manager. So we can see that Lisa received report from different areas to complete her work, and it can be proven that SCSB used its strength internal controls to achieve effectiveness in company procedures.
Hi, my name is Jai, metric number 27581. I want to present about the possible weakness in SCSB procedure. We found that there is no authorization is involved in order for the employee to place a purchase order, and also authorization of transaction before making payment. Actually, the purchase order should be authorized before the employee make a purchase order from the vendors. The purchase order usually need to be authorized first by including the authorized person's signature on the purchase order to show the proper authorization. The transaction also need to be authorized before recording in the computer system. Second, we found that the company is lacking of the physical checking and counting the number of stock received. The weakness is occur due to the human factor. The employee of operation that fail to follow the company's standard and policy by checking and counting the inventory carefully will cause inaccurate accounting record to take place. The quality of inventory also may be decreased and would cause undesired stock valuation occur due to the human error. Besides the company lack of the physical control of access, the receiving dock, which is an open platform, allow all the individual to enter and exit easily. The company that lack of access control will increase the risk of losing and damaging of the inventory stored in the receiving dock. The last weakness that we found in the procedure is the payment for reorder inventory also carry out without verification. The payment not involve the check and signature of authorized person. Authorization of transaction will prevent unnecessary costs and payment at all levels in order to mitigate duplication and avoid occurring of the fraud.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Amadia binti Mat Razi. My metric number is 275553. I would like to discuss about the risk exposure and appropriate internal control for set A for part 1. Okay, first, purchase order are the key in order to make the complete and accurate financial records. They serve as an internal control mechanism. When there is no authorization made in this matter, it can lead to fraud. Fraud is defined as the false presentation of material facts that has been made by one to another party with the intention of deceive and induce the other party to justifiably depend on the material fact. Regarding to the case, it could be done by the employee, and the risk exposure that may occur because of his negligence is buying the poor quality product from the supplier with expensive price. Secondly, the lack of physical checking and counting the number of stock received can lead to the unrealized of inventory loss due to few factors such as employees stole the stock itself, or the vendors or suppliers ship insufficient or expired stock during the delivery period but charge it with the full price. As example, the company ordered the stock of 10,000 units, but the supplier only delivered 8,000 units of the inventory. This negligence is also can risk a company to unrealized stock damage. When this unwanted event occurred, it can affect the company's financial statement as the inventory is the current asset of the company. It can affect the changes of opening and the closing balance of the inventory. When the company has lack of physical control of access, it can cause unsafe environment to the business. Physical control of access is defined as the basic idea of creating barriers to prevent or reduce the tendency of unauthorized people from entering a physical space. In other words, physical access control ensures those only selected and allowed persons to enter the areas. This negligence of physical control can cause huge impact to the company. As mentioned in this case, the company allowed all the individuals to enter and exit easily. The weakness of access control will increase the risk of losing and damaging of the inventories stored in the receiving dock. Lastly, if the inventories reorder is carried out without verification, the risk exposure that might be occur is fraud purchase. The supplier perhaps not even exist and they will take this chance to manipulate by scamming the company. Thus the company will face huge loss and can lead to solvency. Furthermore, it also can lead to uncontrollable inventory purchase, hence stock dumping or slow moving stock occur. For internal control, first, before placing an order for inventories and payment are made, SESB should implement the internal control policy, which is it is compulsory for the person in charge for purchasing inventories to get an authorization from the top management such as department managers and supervisors first. After the approval and authorization has been obtained, then the purchase can be proceeded. It is to ensure that there is no error or fraud in making order for inventories can take place. Hence, undesired transaction might be prevented. Second, SESB should implement the inventory system method such as first in first out FIFO or weighted average cost WAC. FIFO is defined as the oldest inventory items will be sold first. This method is widely used in companies because it is a fairly practical approach since it sometimes is difficult to identify and evaluate the cost of the product sold at the point of sale, and this method can resolve the matter. While WAC is mainly applied to assign the average cost of production to a given product and is most commonly employed when inventories are intertwined, so it becomes difficult to assign a specific cost. This method assumes a store sells off its inventory simultaneously. Third, SESB should enhancing the physical control of access by hiring securities to guard the place or warehouse where the inventories are located and ensure that the guard has no crime records and well trained. It is also for the company to apply the surveillance camera or also known as closed-circuit television (CCTV) for monitoring and supervision purpose. SESB should provide a suitable place for inventory placement where the place is not easily accessed. Last but not least, the company should apply the independent internal verification method as an internal control. Independent internal verification is involving the review, comparison and reconciliation of the data that prepared by the employees, and it's supposed to be made periodically such as weekly, monthly and yearly or on a price basis. For large company, independent internal verification usually assigned to internal auditor and they periodically review department and individual activities in order to determine whether internal control policy is being followed. I think that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Ahmad Binti Maknawi. My contact number is 275553. Today I would like to present the part 2 of the case study for of BKAS 2013 Accounting Information System. So I would like to discuss about the recommendation of ways of fighting against cybercrime in the perspective of MCMC and the private entities.
Okay, let's start with increase the international cooperation. The exchange of information is increasing these days since the explosion of COVID-19 pandemic November last year. As the growth of the usage of digital platform and the internet, the cybercrime is growing as well. For all cyber-related issues, the government, especially Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission (MCMC), have to retain this momentum to eradicate these issues. To ensure every browsing is secure and safe, cybersecurity must include international communication, cooperation and trust between the other countries and industries and need to be enhanced at all levels. If this matter cannot be restrained in cyberspace, there will be a new virus or new threat that can infect everybody. Thus, cooperation at the policy, technology and law enforcement level will be crucial to protect us and motivate us to work together to against the cybercrime.
Secondly, large new software or program. Again, the cybercrime nowadays is also targeted at youth, especially around 15 to 20 years old. This is due to the children were very smart in having access and using social media to enhance their life that will expose them to the numerous kind of cybercrime. So from this slide, I give solution or ways to fight the cybercrime. For example, the cybersecurity need to create a new software known as CETS, which this software can help the criminal investigator to arrange and share media that they found and viral the cybercrime activities in this software. What special this software is also it allow unit from different countries to accurately describe the trace and recognize connection between material, allowing owner of cybercrime to be traced and also uncover international child porn syndicate. All from
Ways of fighting against cybercrime. So my opinion is collaborate with the private sector. Given the success of industry in combating cybercrime, Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) should consider harnessing some private sector of their appetite and experience. Collaboration can bring in fresh in external thinking as well as providing challenge, benchmarking and peers comparison. So private sector will bring their client together to provide safe space for discussion, sweeping war stories and finding inspiration to in each other experience. The Global 1-4 conference program is just one example of private sector works in this area. If MCMC collaborates with private sector, will give more ideas and being prepared to share intelligence on actual and potential attack also matters. After all, the kind of information floating around the criminal fraternity is often stolen from. The use against the combination of public and private organization, it is in everybody's interest to work together.
The ways to fight cybercrime is awareness program in preventing that cybercrime. So in order to fighting this cybercrime, Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Communication, Cybersecurity and private entity must increase awareness program because they need to training their employee to detect some carelessness of their doing to increase the security. So as we can see, the fraud that has been increased in the company that caused by the employee, they must to cure it by training. So when the employees can be training, they can increase the safety of the security of the company, and they can offer the employees an important role to strong password, indicate suspicious email, and warn supervisor about unusual activity. This increase of awareness program, it can help to produce an educated staff and help protect company reputation from time to time.
The last way of fighting against cybercrime is regulate country framework. In improving or establishing country cybersecurity policy, in addition to juridical and regulatory structure for cyberspace, the country should develop into more flexible. The efforts need to consider a multi-stakeholder strategy which involves paying concern about the formation of capacity for incident response in all industries. The authorities are unable to work individually, and the cooperation of the private entities and the technological community are vital to creating efficient capacities for resilience. A priority must also be necessary to coordinate the registration.